Hi there, costume lovers. So today we're going to do a trio of aprons for some Downton Abbey cosplay. I've been watching a lot of Downton Abbey lately, and I noticed that the maid, the cook, and the nurse all wore aprons that were basically made from the same skirt with just a different top attached to it. And I thought we could totally do that. Also, bonus, I did this project all for about $5. I did all 3 aprons out of one bed sheet that I got at a thrift store. I chose a white cotton bed sheet, and I found one with a lace trim, well, sort of a lace trim, which was lucky because I actually wanted something like that for the maid's outfit. If you can't find something that has a lace trim, you can use really wide lace trim. I found some at my local fabric store for 25 cents a yard. You can also use an old doily if you want to use an upcycled thrift store item. Pretty much anything that has lace on it, you can cut up and use for this project. So for the skirt, you're going to want to cut out a very long strip of fabric. I cut mine 5 inches wide, and mine ended up being about 60 inches long. It was probably actually a little longer than that, but my measuring tape only goes to 60 inches. Take your long strip of fabric. This is going to be your waistband, and you're going to want to press all the edges and sew them down so that you have a nice finished edge on every side. After we build our skirt panel, we're going to want to sew it to our waistband using gathers. So we're going to want to go ahead and measure those out. I chose 18 inches as the width for the skirt top, so I marked the center of my skirt and then marked 9 inches to either side of that mark using my blue marking pencil. To build the skirt, you're going to cut a square of fabric for the bottom panel that is 34 inches wide and 28 inches long. Of course, you can adjust those if you need it bigger, smaller, longer, shorter. I'm a rather short girl, so you may want to go longer than 28 inches. Press and sew hems in the sides and the bottom of this fabric. You're going to want to leave the top and not create too much bulk by adding a hem to the top. Just go ahead and mark the center of that fabric with your marking pencil. Next, take your fabric that we're using as a bottom panel and pin the center of it to the center of the waistband. Take the edges of the large fabric and pin the edges to the 9-inch marks that you made on your waistband. Then, starting in the center, you're going to work towards one edge and make even folds in that direction. Then go back to the center and do the same for the other side. Just a note here, there are a lot of ways to do pleating. This is just the way I chose to do it for this project. If you have a way that you are more comfortable with, please by all means do whichever method of pleating works for you. Clip off all of your loose threads and you're done with that skirt. Now, because the skirt was so easy, of course, we made 1, 2, 3 skirts and got my handsome hubby to model it. I mean, look at that. He's the next Heidi Klum. Now that we have our bottoms, we will make our 3 different tops. Let's start with the cook because that's the easiest one. We're going to cut a large piece of fabric that is 9 inches by 13 inches out of our sheet and hem the edges. Also cut a strip of fabric that is 3 inches wide or so and about 28 inches long. Actually, go ahead and cut 2 of those. You're going to, again, press and sew so that all the edges are hemmed. Now take your square panel, which isn't really a square, I know it's 9 by 13, and attach it to the waistband, keeping in mind where your centers are. Also attach the straps that you made to the panel in the front at the top corners, and then crisscross them in the back and sew them at the waistband. You can gather this one at the waistband if you want. For this project, I just chose to go ahead and keep it straight and not gathered. For the maid's costume, cut a 9 by 13 inch piece, as we did before, only this time, if you're using a piece of sheet that has the lace at the top or on one edge, try to use that as one of your top edges for this panel. Otherwise, you'll need to sew a piece of lace to the top in order to get this same effect. So cut your the rest of the lace off of the sheet in strips, or cut long strips of lace ribbon. If you're using lace ribbon instead, you're going to want them to be 2 pieces to be 28 inches long and 1 piece that is 9 inches long. Arrange the strips of lace as edging to the panel. You're going to use the shorter piece to connect the 2 straps in the back. This kind of creates a collar of sorts that kind of just rests on the shoulders. I found that if you cut the corners at a slant, you can kind of get the lace to line up a little bit better. Mine still looks kind of wonky, but hey, it looks good overall. Sew the bottom panel front to the waistband and use a few pleats to narrow it up there. And that's it. Now you have yourself a nice maid's apron. So this one was the hardest one. I actually just took a big 13-inch square of fabric from my sheet and pinned it to my Judy and marked out the neck shape. Then once I had the neck shape cut out, I created a small back collar using small pieces of fabric that were 4 inches by 8 inches and hemmed. And I just kind of sewed those to the front panel and then attached them in the back the same way as the maid's outfit, creating that same weird back collar. The nurse's outfit in Downton Abbey may actually be a little bit different. I didn't have a picture of the back of this one, and I could not, for the life of me, find which season that was in, and I didn't really have the time to go back and watch them all. So this is what you got. Hopefully it's accurate enough. So that's going to do it for this segment. Thank you guys for watching. Also, if you really like these aprons and you want them, I'm giving them away. Yeah. So click this link below. Go to my Facebook page, click like. If you're one of the first 100 people to like it, you are going to get your name thrown in a hat, and the winner will get all 3 of the aprons we just made. That's right. Sorry, the models don't come with it. That dude is mine. Also, little hint on what we're going to be doing next. It's truly outrageous. Yeah. So, yeah. See you guys next time. Bye.